Riley Gaines didn't win a medal. She won a right-wing media career. There is a narrow window in American life where a person goes from who to why is this person on every stage everywhere in a tacky Shein blazer set without ever passing through the phrase, where did they actually come from? Did they actually do something notable? No wins, never a single W, just a whole lot of losses. Sometimes the loss is your racist husband. Other times it's tying for 5th place in a 200-yard freestyle 3 years ago. Both, unfortunately, happen to put you on the ultimate path of prom makeup and pyrotechnics. Riley Gaines went with MAGA Pipeline number 2, and boy, did she commit. If you only knew her from the headlines, you'd think she's just been fighting for women's sports since birth. But if you actually look into it, like for 10 minutes, something way weirder shows up. A totally normal swimming career that just ended and then immediately got replaced with a full-time grifter world tour, complete with a press team, a booking agent, and a group chat with every MAGA event coordinator in the country. Riley Gaines didn't stumble into this. She scooped it up. She guzzled it. Multi-year deals with Fox Media, news outlets, OutKick, podcasts, relaunch, bigger platforms, the whole thing. Suddenly, she's everywhere. Not grassroots onboarding. She's MAGA's latest sparkly grifter, handed a microphone, given a cause, and put on a career track that literally requires absolutely nothing except saying the same stuff over and over again until Fox gets bored. They're not bored yet. And those checks are still hitting her account. And real quick, I'm Lauren Paritra. Please take a moment to subscribe, turn notifications on, and hype, because I need to keep my lead on Katie Miller, the wife of Stephen Little Bitch Miller and possible mother of Elon Musk's 15th child. And the only way to drown out these grifter voices is to amplify the ones actually putting them in their place. So let's go. And before all this, Riley Gaines was just a goofy college swimmer at the University of Kentucky. She was not a superstar. She was not a record breaker. She barely even won. Her career ended quietly, like most NCAA athletes, until 2022, when she tied with a transgender swimmer, Leah Thompson, in the 200-yard freestyle at the NCAA championships. 5th place. Single trophy. Gaines claims officials gave Thomas the trophy on site for the photo ops and told her hers would be mailed later. She framed it as preferential treatment. And suddenly a swimming meet became national news and national outrage. And get this, Gaines has made a whole media moment wringing her hands around trans women in locker rooms, positioning herself as a defender of women's privacy and safety. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, the guy whose movement is cutting her checks, very openly bragged many times, including on Howard Stern, about barging into Miss Universe dressing rooms while contestants were changing.
Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. Right, I want to make sure that
like
everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
He said it on tape. He said it so many times. But somehow Riley's concerns for women's space doesn't extend to calling out the predator at the top of her own political party. From that tie, her activism through trans exclusion exploded. Gaines argues that allowing transgender women to compete against cisgender women is unfair and a violation of Title IX, citing retrained male advantages and locker room privacy concerns. She turned those into a full-blown career. These are her only talking points. State legislatures, political rallies, college campuses. She's spoken everywhere, sometimes even with a motorcade under police escort, sometimes with arrests made at protests. Some states have even drafted laws in her goofy honor, like the Riley Gaines Act in Georgia. And if you're keeping score, she's also the lead plaintiff in a lawsuit against the NCAA.
So by this point, most of you probably know I'm suing the NCAA in the Gaines versus NCAA lawsuit to get men out of women's sports and out of women's locker rooms. Novel concept, I know. Contrary to clickbait headlines, this lawsuit is not over. Actually, it's only really just getting started. But we need financial support to see the lawsuit through and to win this fight for the next generation. I filed this lawsuit with the help of icons and 18 other NCAA athletes who were also signed on as plaintiffs because It was the right thing to do. So talking about money is obviously something that is uncomfortable, and asking for support, especially in this economy that has been fostered and created by the current administration, is never something that I want to do. But unfortunately, finances and those resources are necessary in the fight for fairness and privacy and safety and equal opportunity for women. The left threatens and pursues lawsuits left and right. And clearly, it's been very effective. Whether it's academia, corporate America, our government, the list goes on, of all of these different factions that are terrified of being sued. And so they cave to the woke DEI initiatives. Our side fighting back in the courtrooms is long overdue. So this holiday season, give your daughters or your cousins or a loved one the gift of a future where they can call themselves champions. There really is no better investment. So if you're still watching this, I humbly ask you to donate $19 to our legal fund, $1 for myself and the other 18 plaintiffs who are signed on to this lawsuit against the NCAA. This win would be foundational and monumental in securing the legal rights for girls and women across the country. Happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas. We don't say happy holidays around here.
Claiming their previous policies violated the rights of female athletes. She's online constantly using this rhetoric that has drawn sharp criticism from figures like Simone Biles, who actually wins, and called it sick and bullying. Gaines often...
My heart, though, and why I mentioned in my response to her that this was so disappointing is I thought of people like my younger sister. She's 16 years old. She's an elite level gymnast. She will go on to do incredible things in her collegiate career and beyond. That's who I thought of. That's the people who look up to Simone. That's the platform that she's built and curated and developed. Those people love her. They admire her. And suddenly, again, in one tweet, and I would imagine a aim to be virtuous and inclusive and kind and compassionate, she sold out people like my younger sister.
Often frames this argument in absolute terms. Men who are women do not exist, which is not a debate tactic. This is more of a Twitter kind of bio moment. You can almost see who she studied. Erika, Kirk, everywhere for years. Panels, campuses, podcasts, hitting the same talking points over and over again. Riley noticed. She followed the path. She saw that she could be a new goofy face with closer eyes and a more Mr. Potato Heady face. The goal is repetition. She doesn't need any depth. And so once Fox got involved, the explosion was automatic. One swimming controversy became her whole culture wars thing.
I feel grateful for the leadership of Greg Suby, for the leadership of Speaker McCarthy, Virginia Fox, Claudia Tenney, all the co-sponsors of this bill for standing up for women. Of course, it's almost ironic. The left was once a party that embraced women and fought for women's rights, and now we've seen this narrative being totally flipped. It just shows the war on women is underway, and the Democrats will pay for this in 2024.
Wars that became current affairs. She's hosting twice a week videos framed as a leading voice for women by executives who discovered women's sports 5 minutes ago.
I think people have to be willing, number one, to stand alone. It's not easy to do in this world that we are currently growing up in, especially those who are in and a part of Generation Z. It's evident that we are living in a chaotic time where you are vilified for having traditional beliefs. You have to be willing to stand alone. When I think about the things that provided me the courage and the confidence and the security to do so back in 2022, number one, I attribute my faith, right? When you know that you are living for the hope and the promise of eternal life, it makes everything of this world seem so mundane. It doesn't matter. We're here on this planet for such a short blip of time. I know what I'm fighting for, and that gives me the courage, even still, every single day, to continue on with full steam ahead and no signs of slowing down.
If the topic was ever cooled down, the job would be Tool. And the topic can't cool down because her relevance depends on it. And it's escalating. She didn't stumble into a movement. She found a payroll, multi-state laws, speaking tours, lawsuits, online feuds, and a media platform that pays her to keep repeating the same shit. She's now professional grifter, packaged up as an authenticity, performed with enough indignation to keep clicks, sponsors, and Fox execs happy. Swimming was just the pilot episode. The trophy incident became her launchpad, and every media appearance since has been part of the same formula. Outrage, attention, repeat. This isn't about fairness. This was never about fairness or true athleticism. It's a career track for losers. This is what you do when you lose, when you tie for 5th place in a 200 meter. Riley Gaines is now permanently unavoidable. You can't go anywhere without seeing her potato heady face. A living case study in how conservative media turns grievances into income, visibility into power, and a tie at the NCAA championship, not even close to the podium, into her whole brand. Erika Kirk may have paved the way in recent months, but Riley followed, and Fox made it official. So if you're sick of watching these cross-eyed grifter bitches monetize their worst instincts while the rest of us try to hold them accountable, please subscribe. I am Lauren Paritra. Hit that notifications bell. Send this to a group chat. Hype this video, which is only available on mobile. Riley Gaines thinks she can just loser her way to the top. Katie Miller thinks she can launch a rebrand while possibly carrying Elon's 14th, 15th baby. And I'm supposed to just watch? Absolutely not. These grifters thrive when we stay quiet. So let's get loud. We've got the receipts, and I've got the studio rented for 30 minutes a day, and I need you in my corner. Let's not let her win.
Okay, well,